Hey guys, it's Stefan, and today I'm going to be reading Chapter 12 of Eddie and the Lizard Man. Now, in the last chapter, Eddie was caught spying on Kevin by a giant man that Eddie thinks is actually working with Kevin. But what's really going on here? Well, let's keep reading to find out. Chapter 12, The Mothership. The best laid plans of mice and men often go astray is a popular quote about intention. The interesting thing about intention is that sometimes it isn't enough to accomplish the task at hand. And unfortunately for Eddie, that was the case in this situation. Because with very little effort, the giant man simply shifted his weight, grabbed Eddie by the collar, and pinned him against the wall as if holding a feather. "I said, what do you think you're doing?" the giant man expressed gruffly. "Were you spying on Waterboy?" Now, being pinned against the wall, as you might expect, is an unpleasant experience for most people. However, in this case, it sent a shot of adrenaline coursing through Eddie's veins. And despite the terrifying circumstance of being in what felt like an earthquake while being threatened by an enormous thing, Eddie discovered that not only had he remembered how to breathe, but he had remembered how to speak. So, with a renewed bravery and confidence, this is what he chose to say. "You may call it spying, but I call it finding the truth. And it doesn't matter what you do to me, or the people in this building, or in this town, or in this world. Eventually, the truth will prevail." Of all the explanations the giant man could have expected to hear come from Eddie's mouth, I can almost guarantee you that explanation was far beyond his wildest expectations. Which explains why the giant man responded to Eddie by saying, "Are you drunk?" In that moment, Eddie felt the atmosphere change slightly from being one of intensity to being one of possible misunderstanding. And although the room was still shaking violently and the lights were still flickering erratically, Eddie decided that maybe this giant man wasn't working for Kevin after all. Maybe he was in need of saving just as much as the people on the other side of the curtain. With that new idea beginning to bloom in his mind, Eddie responded to the giant man's question in the following way. "What? No. You think I'm... No, I'm not." Before Eddie could finish, the giant man began ushering Eddie back down the corridor toward the exit. "All right, let's go, kid. I think you need some fresh air." No, wait, listen to me." Then Eddie shirked off the giant man and pointed across the room in Kevin's direction. "The man in that room is a reptilian spy. If we don't stop him, he's going to abduct everyone in this building so that they can do tests on them." The giant man gave a sideways smile, the kind of smile a person gives when they feel sorry for you because they're thinking, this person's elevator doesn't go to the top floor. But Eddie continued, "Why else do you think that this whole place is shaking? I'll tell you why. It's because he's in there right now communicating with the mothership. They could be here any moment. We have to tell everyone to get out before it's too late." Suddenly, the shaking stopped. All was quiet. Well, all was quiet except for the noise of people applauding on the other side of the curtain. Alright, so in this chapter, Eddie believes that he's finally starting to understand what's going on with Kevin, but when he explains it to the giant man just looks at him like he's crazy. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever been so sure of something, but when you tell someone about it, they don't believe you? How does that make you feel? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, you can get your own copy of Eddie and the Lizard Man by clicking the links in the description box. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe, and join me next time as I continue our reading of Eddie and the Lizard Man in Chapter 13, The Calm After the Storm. Stay curious.